The Spiral, Chapter 36. The Ritual at the Stone of Sacrifice. No one knew how the custom of bringing an animal to be slaughtered was what was expected at the stone of sacrifice. That was as narrated in the records of the Book of Recordings. However, it was believed that a young lad had a dream of it, and he told an elder. The elder went to the stone, and that night he had a similar dream. The villagers felt it was a good way to thank the spirit of the stone for its gift of water. It soon became the practice for anyone with a personal request to do so. As time passed, it was believed that bigger requests needed bigger sacrifices. Some men also came with dreams to confirm their status as guardians of the stone, and a fee had to be given to them to qualify a sacrifice. The status of the stone was a place where promises made were binding, and thus marriage proposals were often heard here. To break any of the promises was tantamount to breaking an oath to the Veiled One. That caused such binding oaths to become threats to coerce others into meeting various obligations. It created issues that elders had to be called in to arbitrate as people took the matter into their own hands. However, as replicas of the stone became the fashion, the strength of the oaths made to such was diluted to mere habitual forms. Nobody remembered how the animal should be sacrificed that morning for a favor from the Veiled One to bring success to the killing of the wolf. Not even Ira's grandfather could advise, as wolf slayers were no longer found. Bata Ael's father, a dormant wolf slayer, had never practiced his skills nor released his gift to him. It was Elder Toro who refused the replicas of the stone. It was his insistence that brought them to do a ritual at the stone of sacrifice. It was Rush, the light bearer, who said a fresh young goat had to have its throat slit and its blood released on the ground. Then the blood was to be covered over with earth. It was to be burnt whole, and portions of the meat were to be given to each household to be eaten with the meal of the day. Elder Toro stepped up to the stone and prostrated before it. The aroma of the burnt meat filled the atmosphere, and a stillness filled the village. It was as if guests to a wedding waited in anticipation for the bride to walk in, and all other activities ceased. In the heightened anticipation, quiet excitement arose before the music and songs began. Bata Ael began to sing while others prostrated themselves. Then Elder Toro lifted his head, all the while prostrating, and began to make his petition to the Veiled One. The light bearer sensed many light seeds falling on some people as he himself eagerly received them. Even accompanying children could sense the unsaid excitement as they prostrated themselves too immediately, with little persuasion from the older ones.